Indigenous cultures have existed in Australia for more than 40,000 years. However, as far as the Australian Constitution is concerned, these 40,000 years of Indigenous history did not exist. Did you know that there are more references to lighthouses in the Constitution than there are to Indigenous Australians, who were not recognised or mentioned even once? Why is this a problem, and how do we fix it? Let's find out. So what does the Constitution say at the moment? While Indigenous Australians are not recognised or referred to by the Constitution does refer to race. Firstly, in Section 25, which allows states to ban people from voting in state elections based on their race. Secondly, in Section 51(26), or the Races Power, which is a constitutional head of power that grants Parliament the power to pass laws that treat people differently on the basis of race. So, what is a head of power? Parliament cannot make laws about whatever topic it wants. Heads of power are the parts of the Constitution that state what topics Parliament can make laws about. For example, Parliament can make laws about marriage, defence, quarantine, because all these topics are listed as heads of power in the Constitution. Because there is a racial head of power in the Constitution, Parliament can make laws about Indigenous Australians. But what's wrong with the Races Power? The problem is that the Parliament isn't restricted to only passing laws that benefit Indigenous Australians. In a famous High Court case, it was found that the Races Power also allows laws that disadvantage and discriminate against Indigenous Australians, allowing laws that construct developments on sacred Indigenous land. So, how do we fix the Constitution? The solutions are numerous and evolving, but current proposals include deleting Section 25 to stop states from banning Indigenous Australians from voting, deleting the Races Power so the government can't make laws that disadvantage Indigenous Australians, insert a new head of power, Section 51A, which will firstly acknowledge Indigenous Australians as the first peoples of our nation. Secondly, replace the current Races Power with a new reworded power that only allows Parliament to make beneficial laws about Indigenous Australians. But why not just delete the Races Power altogether? Why remove it and then replace it? The Races Power can't simply be deleted altogether because many existing laws that benefit Indigenous people, such as native title, are valid because Parliament passed them under the Races Power. If we simply deleted the Races Power, all these beneficiary laws would be invalid. So the Races Power needs to be deleted and then replaced to uphold these beneficiary laws and make sure that Parliament can still make laws that benefit Indigenous Australians in the future. And lastly, insert a new section, Section 116A, which will expressly prohibit negative racial discrimination against any race, and only allow laws that positively discriminate on the basis of race. For example, laws that fix socio-economic disadvantage of a race. Did you know it's almost been 50 years since the 1967 referendum on Indigenous Australians? Will it take another 50 years for Indigenous Australians to be constitutionally recognised? And what are the alternative options? Find out more in our next video.